is Malin Schiller. I work as the coordinator of ICORN in Gothenburg, Sweden. And today we're here at Göteborgs Litteraturhus, the House of Literature in Gothenburg. And together with me is Ahmad Azzam, the ICORN artist of Gothenburg since 2021. And we're going to have a talk together.
Yeah. I was that.
So welcome, Ahmad.
Welcome, Malin. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
It's snow, It's good. I feel good.
You've been here a little bit more than a year now.
Yeah.
And this is your second winter.
Mm.
Do you enjoy the snow and the cold?
There is a big difference between this winter and that winter. It was icy in that year, so this year it's wonderful. I love the snow. I play like kids in the morning, yeah. I have bath in the morning. I do it these 3 days with the friends. So it was a nice weather for me. But no, the last year it was really horrible.
Is this, with the snow, is this more how you imagined Sweden before you came here?
No, I think it's less than my expectation, because you hear about legends about Sweden. You feel sometimes you will walk and you will see a pair face to face. Yeah, some people told stories about this. So no, it's I think it's a normal winter. It's a normal degree really, because and somehow I was in Turkey. In Turkey you can catch, for example, 10-degree negative. I mean, it's the same, I think, in the winter, I mean. So it's not a big difference, but it's a style of winter, a new style of winter. If I want to be specific, it's really a new style of winter, because it's always snowing, and the snowing, not here in Gothenburg, but, in all Sweden you can find a snow, not look like Turkey, not look like Syria, but in Syria there is a parts of country, it's like this. If you, for example, if you travel to the south of Syria, there is a place called Sednaya. It's always snowing all the winter, so it's not something strange, but not in all the country. It's something like this. I'm sorry for my language.
No, it's perfect. Yeah. And it's unusual in Sweden as well, I would say, that it is all the country.
Yeah.
Normally the south is much warmer than this, but so it's unusual, but we're enjoying
always
it.
The south. I have a problem with this. in any country, I think. Yeah. I don't know how it's linked, but it's still the south. Yeah.
And you now mentioned both Turkey and Syria. Tell me a little bit more about your background before you came to Sweden.
Yeah. I'm a Syrian Palestinian refugee. I lived in Syria as a Palestinian refugee, and I grew up there. I studied there. I worked there. I graduated from social department. I worked on many fields in my life. I worked on the field of drama. I was a scriptwriter. I worked in the field of press. The revolution started. We all know what happened in Syria, and the killing started on the street, and all my friend was arrested and killed, and I found myself forced to leave the country before I will be in jail or to be arrested or to be killed too. So I found myself traveling to Turkey. Turkey, the life, it's not so easy, because you don't have right as a Palestinian Syrian. You don't even to be a Syrian, it's more flexible to you. But to be a Palestinian Syrian, they cannot deal with you. What's happened here? They cannot understand this legal situation. So you take a time to get even a simple paper to say there is a man leaving this place, and I didn't get it actually. You know this. Okay, I spent the first 3 years. It was really easy in Turkey, because you can find work in your field. You can.
What year did you come to Turkey?
2015.
Yeah.
2015. I was 2015 in Turkey, and I stayed up to 2020. Yeah. The first 3 years was so easy, because the people was more flexible. when there is many refugees in Turkey, and this is really a big problem for the Turkish society. They feel, I don't know. I don't want to talk about racist. I don't think it's racist. It's just about how the people become always they want to talk about their economic situation. So they need someone to say about him or her. She is the reason. This refugee, he is the reason. This people, the Syrian people, they are the reason of this bad economic in country. And this happened with time because the first 3 years, I think all the Syrian people was so happy in Turkey. There is no problem. But with the time, always the right wings make a problem in this world. I don't know why. We are all will die. So that happened too in Turkey. The last 2 years was so heavy because the racist. Because of even I don't have a legal papers, it became difficult to find a work without the papers, and this all affected me in hard way. So, and somehow this accident happened to me, and I found myself applicant for ICORN, and I had a chance with this. I was lucky, I think. Up to now, I cannot believe it. Imagine. We are sitting here in Göteborg, really?
And we were very lucky to have you, I must say. I remember when you came in October last year.
When I took the mask off and said,
yes, it was in the middle of a pandemic, and you experienced Sweden as being quite
nice.
Free and relaxed in that sense, that we weren't so hard on the restrictions and there was no lockdown. So I guess in a way it was a double freedom. You knew you could stay in Sweden for 2 years.
Exactly. And the second one is most important to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
because you are really, when the people all with mask, you feel you are ill and it's the same feeling of, I don't know, but people with masks look like they are all in hospital. It's not a big city, it's a big hospital.
It was like that.
You feel like
Turkey.
this, but here, I mean, I really wish to know all the world about this, because what's happened when you put mask and this is not invitation to the people to break the restriction, no, but really when the people put mask on all the city like this and you walk, you see all the people in this way, your immune system will destroy it by itself. because it's something really weird, it's something really stress, and the people they overdose it. For example, I cannot say hi to the children, to the son of my friend, for example, in the normal way,
because
the children
hang
hang you. Now the family said, hey, don't be close of my children, oh my god, don't be close of me, and this kind of way, I think make people really stress and really feel many symptoms of
fear,
virus of COVID-19, and they are normal. They don't have anything, but it was really a double freedom.
Yeah. I can imagine, and I was very impressed because the moment you got here, you kind of immediately started working. I thought that you would be somehow in a more passive state, but since you got here, you've been very productive. You finished your first full-length novel. You've written and directed and produced your first, not your first, but your a short film, and you put a text in this anthology made by Västra Götalandsregionen, that you have a text in there, and other things. How was it for you to come to Sweden and then work so good, if I may say?
In this part, I would to say two things. The first thing, how productive like this, that the big thanks for you first, really, because you were a real supporter for me. But somehow, I don't think I'm productive, but maybe it's the because the lifestyle changed with me. Here in Europe, this is the first city I visited in Europe. I didn't visit Europe before. I think the pattern of life so slow. So slow. Even me, I cannot even. I feel, what I'm doing up to now. I feel I don't do anything really, because you feel the hour attack you. Here the hours really attack you, and you feel there is money hours, but it's a short time. We're talking about more than over a year now, you know. So it was really, for example, in the first 2 months, I had this problem. I cannot do anything, but actually, and somehow you need to complete your work. You are responsible about the people who you need to talk about, and that sometimes give me the power to complete. And I have many stories to tell. I have a case to talk about it, and I'm responsible of this. I have a chance to be survived here. Maybe there is many people deserve that more than me, I think. But now, in some lottery, I'm here. I need to talk behalf of them, or try to talk behalf of them, and behalf of myself too, and that really push you to finish. But actually, I don't think up to now that I'm productive, because I don't know. I feel that I waste money of my time, because maybe as I told you, the pattern, the type of lifestyle here. But okay, it's good. I finished my first novel. This is very good. I finished my first movie, and I have problem with how many time it take with me. For example, this movie, if I was in Turkey, to explain it for you more clearly, if I was in Turkey and I want to make the same movie I made it here, it will take just 1 month from me, you know. But now, because the bureaucracy, and you need to deal with this, and many things like the bureaucracy issues, we spent more than 4 months up to now, and now we finished. You know, I mean about this.
Yeah.
And that lets you always and about me, I'm always stressed about the unachievement things, because
Yes.
I cannot start with anything new before to find my work. It's finished now. Okay, it's finished. I can start with a new thing. I can start to think, to do a new thing.
But
this
yes,
problem.
you're right, and I think you share this experience with other icon artists as well. That comes from an environment where they maybe had to be very productive also to get money and to move on. And,
Yeah, exactly.
and suddenly you are in a new country. You get your scholarship. It's not a lot of money, but it keeps you alive, and you have all this free time to be creative or not be creative, and it
Maybe
can
you
also
catch
put
it.
anxiety on you, like how to use it maximum,
Yeah.
and how to get something of it on one hand, and then the other hand is what you're talking about with the bureaucracy and the Swedish society of everything taking time and having to write agreements.
Exactly.
And then
Exactly.
it's a complex
and I think,
situation.
Malan, there is most important thing. Now I ask it to myself: what happened to me? Why I feel that there is a most of time the style of relationship. Actually, for example, in Turkey, I was in the same. I don't have something to do at 8 at morning. I wake up and I don't find something to work. Even in Turkey, because you are a writer, you are you didn't go to institution to work as employment. You are not, and I cannot be like this if you want. So and even in Syria, really, I was work as a script writer in my home. Sometimes I go to the company for technical issues, but somehow you use it in this style life. But what happened, because the change of relationship, when you wake up, for example, in Turkey, at 8 morning, I have to write today about the episode, about 1, 2, 3. Okay, I go to some cafe, I find some friends work on the same field, we talk and discuss in these things. That and all the stress, all the problem, everything about racist, about Syrian political issues, about Palestinian. You talk with people, they involved with you. They involved not just talk. They involved about media, about race, about everything. So you feel that that maybe take all your day. So you come back exhausted from this, and you feel okay. It was a good thing to give yourself conclusion on this day, and you really sometimes you need a holiday. You need to be you take a rest from all this, because you feel there is really a real time or serious time you were spent it. Here no, you sometimes you discuss it with yourself, you go and check it with yourself. It's maximum you made it on team. You talk with your friend on screen, and that the visual thing is not very satisfied for your desire to discuss or something like this. Yeah.
You don't have that context and
Sure.
that creative.
Exactly, not any
team.
context. The traditional context. I mean, the people you had known in all your life, they have the same background. They have the same way to discuss. Not the same way. I mean,
but they know exactly,
exactly
where you're coming from.
They can collide you, right?
Yes.
You can collide them, right? You can discuss with them, discuss with you, and this is difficult because this is about your life, your private life. It's not easy to find now people and sit together and talk about this, and you can find the same.
No, because it's
result.
It's not only professional. It's linked with everything.
They cannot understand my jokes, for example, but
No.
these people can understand my joke.
Yeah.
How much it's silly, but maybe they understand it because it's thinking about your lifestyle and their lifestyle and something. And this is the fair. I think it's fair.
I can see why it is. It's natural, but it's a difference, definitely. It might be a challenge because you are kind of alone all the time with your struggle. But did you know from before, when you knew you were coming to Sweden, did you have already the idea that I'm going to finish a novel, I'm going to make a film, or is this something that appeared to you once you were in Gothenburg?
Of course. I was about to. I had a plan since I get the reply that I'm accepted with ICORN as a guest writer. Before in Göteborg, they told me we are hosted you. I bought this plan because I know this is 2 years. Maybe I have it to do what I want to do exactly, because all your life you just work what happened around you, what you need to defeat about, what you need to say your opinion about. But here you want to talk about you, inside you. So this is good 2 years for me to talk what I want to talk. So I made a plan for the novel. I made a plan for another book. I want to finish it. I thought I will finish it, 2 of them in the first year, but I didn't get a chance. Maybe in the next year it will be. So everything was really arranged, if you want. And and it's nice. I finished it.
Tell me about your novel, Vertigo.
Yeah, Vertigo. You are the first one mentioned to me. It's the same name of a movie for Hitchcock. Yeah, and I was about to change the title, but then I thought it's not important. It's not something important to change it. Vertigo is talking about. We can consider it as a story of refugee, and in some kind, a refugee is a story, in some kind of it. But it's talking about someone lost everything, and somehow when I told you someone lost everything, the family, his wife, he spent the time in jail more than 5 years. He lost all the relations we were talk about from a while, and this situation it's really a situation for many of people. This man, it's just talking about 5 days, all the novel talking about this man when he get out of the jail, and just he decided to travel to Europe. Okay,
to leave his country.
Yeah, to leave his country to travel to Europe. I don't talk anything about his life in Syria. And you cannot see the character arrive to any place like Greece, or it's still just on the way between the hell and the paradise. The hell, which is Syria, the paradise, which is Europe for him.
What he imagined.
What he imagined, of course. What he imagined that the paradise, which say high from over the seas. So he is between, okay, and this 5 days it's between, and in these 5 days he will face the most worst situations any refugee face it in the world. It's why it's vertigo. It's vertigo because he's always between that past. He cannot really catch it, and the people who are they now impossible to see it again, and about the future and non-future, but it's still a vertigo between this right moment and the past moment and the future, and he always will still in this point. Finally, you cannot see him come back to his country, and he will never arrive to Europe. Okay, in this 5 days, I don't have the good expression for it, but it's a vertigo of his moments, exactly, his moments like this. Yeah, and try to make it kind of philosophy sometimes. There's a little of tragedy. It's a tragical story actually.
It sounds rather tragic.
Yeah, you can cut some.
It's not a happy end. It's a
happy
open.
end. No, it's a happy end.
It's a happy end.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
At least the vertigo will stop. His vertigo will stop. So it's a happy end. Yeah.
And this idea, was it something that you had since a long time? Is it based on your own experiences, or how did it come to you? The idea of the novel.
Yeah, you mean how the idea came to
Yes.
mind? Yeah. Actually, I I like to write the short stories. Okay. And I published many on many magazine and websites. But when I start write this, it was short story. I start to write about this man who was walking suddenly in nowhere, and he found himself carrying his bag, and it was so raining, and walk alone, and in the first time in another country, for the first time in his life, and how he see the street, and he cannot find a place to sit. Everything is wet. Remember, other people was with him when they crossed the. I was talking like this with a novel, with a short story. Then when I become to some place, and I have to interrupt myself, and somehow I have tradition when I write. This tradition, I wrote many words on one session. So you can, if you wrote, for example, 5,000 word or 4,000 word, and this is really strange, but because nobody write 4,000 word in one session. But in 4,000 word, when you write 4,000 word, you see what will happen. Okay, it's not like a short story in 800 word or in 700. But to be clear, more clear, when I write 4,000 word, I work on this 4,000 word maybe 1 month.
Okay.
Because I just flow it. I just say it. But it's not the real thing you want to say it, because maybe you delete it, and maybe you work on it, but you need a month to rearrange it, to express good, to find a good expression. But what I'm thinking, what I see, I want to put it. It's like this, and this is kind of inspiration, because if there is an inspiration, you will do it. If there is no inspiration, you cannot every time sit and write. it's not something technical. It's about really how you feel about the idea, how you want to express, so forth. So when I arrived in the short story to point, I thought, oh, it's not a short story. It could be extend to more than short story. I will make it a small book. And then I thought about this, why I don't talk about someone spend 5 days just walking in the street. I don't bet him on a place. You can catch him just 3 hours in hotel when he wanted to sleep in hospital, maybe on forest, on the chair, on garden, but he is always walking. You cannot catch him. He is always walking with his moment, which is in the past and the future, what he wants, it's always about someone just walk. Yeah, in somehow like this. So I let him walk, and I finish it while he is walking.
But you are inside his brain also. You follow his thoughts.
He follow. I mean, he is just not just follow his thoughts. He even deal with the present moment. For example, maybe something normal happened to him. How he, as a refugee, as someone new in this place, exaggerate everything. He give, and he, don't forget this, 5 years in prison, and now suddenly there is someone spit him from the country to find himself really as a spit on another country because I mean if I want to choose another title except Vertigo, I will choose Spate.
Okay.
But you cannot put this because it's a little disgusting. Yeah. So yeah, this kind of money question about exile, about the past, about how much it worth what happened, the revelation that really worth what happened to lose all his friend, all his family, the people he loved, and to destroy his self because he execute not just the 5 years actually.
Okay.
It's not just about 5 years in prison. It's about what will come in the future, all the time he will spend it, because he is just a terrifying man. He cannot even said for the woman, for example, there is a novel, he was on tram stop, he just want to ask woman, how can I reach to Basmani? It's a country which the refugees use it to seal to the grace.
Okay.
He just want to ask it this question, which the number of paths take me to Basmani? I wrote more than 10 pages because he cannot ask this question. Imagine how much he is a terrifying person. And just because of this question, for example, he made a world of hell in his mind. How can I ask her? And she is with her dog, and become how he compare himself with this puppy dog, and this woman, she is not racist, but in the last years in Turkey, how he was terrifying for her, and he compared his feeling with the dog. The people are sensitive to their dogs more than to himself, for example. And this, for example, in this situation, you try to create this a terrifying person who was always ask a normal question, look like it's the real question, the serious question, the horrible question. How can I arrive to this place? This is a terror movie for him, just to ask a question. And this, and somehow, really, I catch it on. If you want, I was inspired from many refugees. I have this habit to watch people. For example, sometimes I'll tell you this story. I don't know how much it's important. I was in tram in Turkey, and with time, with the rest, the people become more tension. Okay, so I found a man. He was 50 years old. He's Syrian. I think he want to ask about same thing, about something. I don't know exactly. So he asked the Turkish guy, "Hey, how are you? How can I?" He used this tone. I was watching him. Why? And he became sweating and trembling, and this Turkish guy was so nice. Yeah, you can come here. I catched him like this. Why you are so afraid? In Arabic, I told him, why are you afraid? He became normal. No, I'm not afraid. I'm normal. No, you ask him too much afraid. You don't need to be like this. Because it's really, really, when you see people in this situation, it's not just about him. It's really about the bad circumstances the people they suffering of. And they feel if he was in cafe, for example, and he asked for a cup of coffee, he feel look like I don't deserve this because I'm not in my country. This feeling become to control the people on some place, actually, not all Turkey, because in Istanbul you cannot feel this. In many places you cannot feel this. And the Turkish people, they are great people, kind people, nice people. But the racist, it's always exists. In Syria you can find racist. In Palestine you can find racist. In Jordan, in every place you can find racist. It's easy. It's about we are a human being. They have this race of racist. I mean, yeah, we
Of
are all
course.
die, but so I don't know, people still like this. Okay, they don't want to change this education, unfortunately. But you ask the people, the same people, why you act in this situation? It's a racist behavior. You don't think he is racist. This is
No.
the problem. The people don't think they are racist in this situation. No, it's normal. I'm not racist. It's easy. Yeah. And you cannot convince him to say no. This is racist. He couldn't be convinced that he is racist. This is the problem.
But is the experience of the refugee that is feeling scared and the power of not being in his own country and all these experiences seems like you have condensed in the novel in a short period of days.
That's what I wanted to surmise surmise. And the problem where now everyone actually really I don't consider myself as a novelist, but I try to express. But other people they read the novel, I get just this answer: I cannot stop reading, and this is good for me. This is enough for me, because I'm not a novelist. Okay, yeah, I didn't create up to be a novelist. Maybe to write a short story, yeah. And there is a big difference between these two art. Really, there is a big difference. But other people said we cannot stop reading, because I know other people, they captured exactly
The
their
recognized
stories,
things in their
at least their behavior, their reaction in this situation, how much they were fear in simple and silly situation. You don't need to be fear because of it, but you know there is another life, another situation when you are a refugee, another feeling, another sense, and even who was so confident in their past life, he lost his tension, he lost his courage, he lost his he is always want to be okay, I just want to be in safe mode. And all this war not just destroyed his country, they destroyed all the refugee. I think they are destroyed even in the future, even in their I think there is monumental problem should be.
Well, you're from a family of refugees since generation. Do you think
Yeah.
the experience travel?
And somehow that give you experience and give you I don't want a more arrogant feeling. I cannot explain it, but it's really a problem to feel like this. You are arrogant because you are an old refugee. How can you explain this? Really, it's something. If you think about it, you have to cry. But I think because you are really grow up as a refugee, and the Palestinian refugee didn't suffering directly look like the Syrian refugee. I mean, my country. I will tell you a story after this meeting, because it's really happened before I came to you on that round. But okay, forget this. My country was subjected in 1940, subjected to the largest armed robbery, I think, in 1948. It was called Palestine, and suddenly become Israel, and this is really something strange in this. Something not strange. It's normal in this world, fighting between people who have power and people don't have power. People can steal because they have, and that happened. But we as a Palestinian, we were cheating by the Arab government, because they said we will fight. You get out of your country. We will fight. You need a soldier to fight for your country. That's what happened. And the Arabs army, all of the Arab army, they fighted the Jewish militia. It was militia before they became a state. But all the Arab army, they were just 10,000 soldiers. 1,000 from Syria, 1,000 from Jordan, 1,000,
Mm-hmm.
And with this argument, they let other people. The only part of people why they leave their country, because there were a leader said, get out and we will fight for you, because you are not soldier, you need a soldier. And suddenly the Palestinians find themselves on Lebanon, on Jordan, on Syria, but they are an Arab country, and somehow they suffering too much. But in 10 years, they understood what happened exactly, and they become build their life. And one of the method, the Palestinian, how they learn their children. You have to grow up. You have to be strong. You have to study. You have to work to liberate your country. Someday we will come back. They have this background. So you grow up as a tough, not because you want to be like this, because if you are not like this, you are less others. Okay, you need to be. Okay, I'm a good in study. I'm a good in working. This is kind of conditions. And you don't know how happened, really. I was surprised what the meaning of families have 10 children, and the 10 children are superior in the school. They all study on the college because they have this method. I study my high school. I studied in kitchen because I don't have place to study. I studied in kitchen, and I was so happy. Now I remember myself. Oh my God, it's amazing. I was studying really in kitchen. Really. And I use the toilet because the only place you can be isolated. I'm sorry for that. But I mean that somehow have a positive sides because you grow up more tough.
Yeah.
What happened with the Syrian? You have a dictatorship for 50 years. And this 50 years destroyed the people inside. The Syrian people feel always they don't have the right to say no. They don't have the right to work. They don't have the right to, if for example, any Syrian people buy a car, okay, he look like it's, oh my God, I have a car. And all the people said he buy a car because everything is banned. You cannot do anything, even about the economic things. There is one family steal all the country. One family steal all the institution. And even the religion. The religion you have to believe look like Bashar al-Assad want to believe, for example. Because it's their institution. In this situation, the Syrian refugee become more weak. And when they face this problem, to be out of their country, I think they are really was confused. What happened suddenly? We were in our country, and we are not fighted by enemy. It's
not an outside.
It's not
force.
outside. It's suddenly
yes.
your people killed you because these soldiers, they are Syrian soldiers.
Yes.
This government, the Syrian government, and somehow when I will tell you this. No, I will never mention that.
Yeah,
Stop,
it's very interesting, and I know we will have to come back to this issue again because of this double identity that you have with being Palestinian and the refugees.
Yeah, it's complicated.
They're also from Syria now. It's very interesting. We have to round up, and I would just like to say that I'm looking forward. We really hope that we can translate your novel from Arabic to Swedish, and so that I will be able to read it. But and that you will have time to continue writing this last year that you're here in Gothenburg.
I think I have and I gave my book to Göteborg anyway. It will be really even in Arabic it's given to Göteborg. And I wish to do something good, but we don't know. Okay, we'll see.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much.
Don't worry.